We're going to go ahead and get started with the Joby Wells hearing while we're waiting on some other attorneys, Mr. Rojas and Mr. Nichols. I know there's a witness that might be coming in a few minutes, but there's one here and we're waiting, so let's get started. This is cause numbers 19-31266 and 31267. All right, Mr. Nichols is present. Mr. Rojas, you're present with Sir Joby Wells. And Mr. Wells was previously in court. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on. Has 2 motions to revoke unadjudicated probation on probation in each of those cases for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Let's see. In those motions, pled true to counts 3, 4, and 6. I've received an updated pre-sentence report as well as some jail incident reports that everyone should have been given copies of. Has everyone received all of that?
We have, yeah. Yes, Your Honor, we have.
And these cases are both, I want to make sure I said it right, they're aggravated assault, family violence. They're both first-degree felonies, a deferred probation.
Officer Stevenson begins his testimony. He recalls that early morning in April 2024, a 2 a.m. call about harassment. A woman had reported that her ex-boyfriend wouldn't stop contacting her. When police arrived, they found a man in all-black clothing matching the description. It was Joby Wells. He claimed he was just there to talk, but the truth was far darker.
The original plea agreement.
Both of them were second degrees, 2 to 20 range. There was no agreement, and does anyone have any additions or corrections to that pre-sentence report?
Nothing. No, Your Honor.
Mr. Rojas, does the state have witnesses with regard to those other counts?
Yeah, they do, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I believe they do.
Oh, did I say Mr. Rojas? Mr. Nichols, does the state have? Thank you.
Your Honor.
You may call your first witness.
State called Officer Stevenson.
Good morning, sir. If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. You can have a seat.
And how are you employed, sir?
Sorry?
How are you employed?
I'm a police officer in the police department.
How long have you worked for Beaumont Police?
Approximately 15 months.
And during that time, have you worked on patrol?
Yes, sir.
When did you complete the field training and all that?
December 15th.
2024?
Yes, sir.
And so during the month of April of 2024, what were your job duties? What were you doing for Beaumont Police?
I was on patrol. I was in the FGO phase. I was in phase 2.
And who was your supervisor for training officer?
Officer Simpson.
The officer checked both phones, and what he found was shocking. Over 40 calls in a single night, some from Wells' number, others from no caller ID. It was clear this wasn't a coincidence. It was an obsession. Even though Wells admitted to calling her, he insisted it was harmless. But 40 calls in one night? That's not love, that's harassment. What do you think? At what point does trying to talk become crossing the line?
Matching the description that she'd given to dispatchers, and we made contact with him.
About what time of the morning was this? Do you remember? 2 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
This individual you encountered, was he wearing anything unusual?
He was described as wearing all black clothing, and that's what this individual was wearing.
Did you identify him?
Yes, sir.
And what was his name?
Joby Wells.
When you encountered Mr. Wells, did he explain what he was doing in the street on Maida?
Believe so.
What did he tell you?
He said he was there to talk to this lady, the complainant.
Did it seem unusual to you that he was in that area at that time?
Not at the time. I'd never met him before.
As y'all investigated, what did you find out?
Excuse me. He was her ex-boyfriend, and he had allegedly called her numerous times.
Hearsay, Your Honor.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Did you, she reported that he had been calling her multiple times, is that correct?
Yeah,
Did you verify that anyway?
I did.
How'd you do that?
He gave us permission to view his phone logs, and he had made several calls to her phone, and hers also showed many calls.
So he allowed you to view his calls?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall about how many calls he made to her number?
Approximately 41, I believe.
All that same evening and early morning?
I believe they might have started the day before.
Okay. But about 40 within one day, is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
The defense tried to poke holes. Maybe some calls were from her to him. Maybe it wasn't one-sided. But even the officer wasn't sure. The back and forth only made the courtroom quieter. Everyone could tell this wasn't mutual affection. This was a pattern. A man refusing to let go.
When you reviewed her phone, what did it appear the numbers came from?
Many of the calls said no caller ID, I believe, but some came from his.
Okay. And you yourself viewed the call logs on her phone, as we see here, and you also viewed his call logs indicating that he had made those phone calls. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Officer Stevens. I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Mr. Rojas?
When you looked at these call logs, did you see, there's a way on the phone to see if phones are incoming or they're outgoing, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you take a look at the phone to see how many calls were actually outgoing from his phone or outgoing from her phone?
I remember a lot of incoming calls from her phone. I'm not really sure about that.
Okay. You're not sure, but...
I don't recall.
Okay. So there could have been some from her to him that you don't recall, those are there.
There could have been.
Okay. So there's a lot of this could have been back and forth, him texting her and her texting back to him.
It could have been.
Okay. Or calling each other back and forth. Did anybody, once you got back to the police station, did anybody go back through his phone? I assume you took his phone into evidence?
I believe so.
Do you know if anybody back at the police station went back and looked at his phone to verify how many calls were coming from his phone, or how many calls were going from his phone to hers, and how many calls were coming from her phone to his?
I don't know if that happened.
Okay. If it happened, you didn't do it.
Correct.
Okay. Did you count the number of, you mentioned earlier that somebody had, I think the number you said was 41 calls? Approximately. Was that on his phone or her phone?
Her phone.
Did you go back and count the number of calls on his phones?
I don't recall.
Okay. Go ahead.
Judge West reviews the evidence. Each count is confirmed as true. The court finds enough proof for aggravated assault, family violence, and more. Then the defense pleads for mercy. Wells' attorney says he never got his chance at a rehab program, that the system failed him, not the other way around. He argues that Wells should get one more shot at probation and a fresh start. Would you give him another chance? Or do you think this is just another excuse?
Count 1 true. I am going to find count 2, find that there was sufficient evidence based on Ms. Lopez's testimony as well as that of the officer and his body cam, that count 2 is also true. Count 5 true. Count 3, 4, and 6 were true pleas by Mr. Wells. So at this time, all counts are true. Mr. Rojas, I will let you go forward with argument.
Judge, Mr. Wells would like another chance on probation, Judge. As Mr. Nichols pointed out, he was here previously on a prior motion to revoke for the family assault. At that point,
hang on just a second. Would y'all take that down? I want to make sure that it's easier for Ms. Tanner if we're back up there also. Make sure that it's working right. Yep. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Let's say he was here for the previous motion to revoke, as Mr. Nichols pointed out. At that point, 100-day sanctions were ordered. I don't know if it was at that point or another point, but at some point he was ordered to go to ISF. He was placed in holding at the county jail, and for whatever reason, I guess the bed never opened up, and he was released. So he never got the benefit of ISF. And from what I can see, the reason for going out, it was going to be the cognitive track.
The prosecutor steps up, and his words cut deep. He reminds the court that this isn't Wells' first offense. He once rammed his ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend with his car. He's been violent before, and the calls, the stalking, the late-night visits, it's all part of the same dangerous cycle. This has to end, the prosecutor insists. His voice echoes what everyone's thinking. If nothing changes, someone could get seriously hurt.
To get him last time. He's telling me that if he were released on probation, he has a job set up in Midland to go work in the oil fields. His uncle is a supervisor at the oil fields. I think there's some classes or some training he needs to go through in order to get a license. Once he gets that license, his uncle is going to give him that job. Of course, if you were to let him stay on probation, you have to go to ISF first, get all that taken care of, and then go to Midland. But I think that probably would be to his benefit to get away from the people around here and get a fresh start over in a different environment. And that's what we're asking to do, Judge. Let him stay on probation, get to ISF, get all that behind him, and start a fresh life in Midland.
Thank you, Mr. Rojas. Mr. Nichols?
Your Honor, I think unleashing Mr. Wells on another county would be an incredible injustice and disservice to those people. Judge, he is on probation for 2 counts of aggravated assault for ramming an ex-girlfriend and her then boyfriend with his vehicle. And I want to draw the court's attention to the original PSI, where the complaining witness in that case, and her version of events states not just about him ramming their car, but that the day this happened, she had broken off their relationship, and that the day this happened, she began receiving several phone calls from Wells, causing her to block his number. After blocking his number, she began to receive calls.
When Wells finally speaks, he blames manipulation. He says the woman isn't scared of him, that she twisted the story. He mentions his daughter and says he just wants to be a better father, but Judge West doesn't buy it. She reminds him that he said the same thing years ago, promising to do better, promising to change. And yet, here they are again. Do you believe him? Can a person with this kind of past really turn their life around?
It has to end at some point, Judge, and I urge the court to exercise the full 20 years in these cases. These things only escalate. And he went over to these people's house, dressed in all black at 2 a.m. to confront them after repeated calls to her. That's scary. I don't like she's not here, Judge, but we know why she's not here. She's scared of this man. And I'm asking the court to put a stop to this today.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Mr. Wells, do you have anything to say? Stand up and speak loudly and clearly so I can hear you as well as the court reporter.
Yes, ma'am. She's not scared of me. She manipulated herself, so it ain't nothing about nobody scared of me. And I'm trying to start because I got kids, like my daughter, she's 16, she about to graduate too, and I'm just trying to do whatever the ISF program to try to better myself and control my temper, work on myself, and try to do, like I said, if I get to go get this job for you, and I can, get away from the, people, that I've been hanging around and, better myself.
So you've been hanging around the wrong people?
Hanging around like just.
Then comes the most powerful moment. Judge West asks a question that silences the entire room. What if someone did to your daughter what you've done to these women? Wells looks down. I'd be upset, he says softly. But the judge doesn't stop there. She tells him his behavior isn't improving. It's escalating. And if he can't follow the rules in jail, how can he follow them in society?
Then this is back when you first got these probations, which was in 2019. You said, I will do good because I do not want to be in any more trouble. I'm trying to be a better father figure and role model for my kids. What if someone was doing what you've done to the women in your life to your 16-year-old daughter? I'm sorry?
I would be upset.
You'd be upset? You'd probably be more than upset. If somebody rammed their car into her car, somebody showed up at their house, her house, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you'd be more than upset. The problem is your behavior is escalating. It's not getting better. It's actually getting worse. And it's not because we didn't send you to ISF and you want to talk about, I want to go to this little ISF program. It's not a little program. It's something that's really meant to help people. And that's not something that based on your history you deserve. I have your jail incident reports. Just in March, in 1 month, you've got 5. You can't even follow the rules when you're in jail.
Judge West delivers her ruling point to 0 years in prison. 2 concurrent sentences for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Her tone is firm but calm. She lists the jail incidents, the repeated disrespect, and the lack of control to her. It's simple. Wells has run out of chances. The courtroom falls silent as she signs the papers. Justice served.
All you got to do is follow the rules. If they say stay in your bunk, you stay in your bunk. You don't call them a bitch because they told you to stay in your bunk. You just follow the rules, which you can't do. Deputy Millhouse had to shush you a minute ago, and instead of just saying, I'm sorry, yes, sir, I saw the look you gave him, and I saw the look you gave me when I told you to be quiet. You don't like people telling you what to do. Clearly. And the B word is the nicest thing you've called him. At this time, in cause number 19-31266, again, find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 3, 4, and 6 freely and voluntarily. I again find counts 1, 2, and 5 true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty of aggravated assault, family violence, and sentence you to a term of 20 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. There will be an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon in that case. In cause number 19-31267, I'm also going to find that you pled true to counts 3, 4, and 6 freely and voluntarily. Find counts 1, 2, and 5 true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of aggravated assault. Sentence you to a term of 20 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit, and there's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon in that case as well. You will receive credit on these sentences for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. They will run concurrently, which means together at the same time. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this wasn't a plea agreement. You do have some rights to appeal. You need to sign that with Mr. Rojas, and he'll give you a copy of it. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you in each case, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk to Mr. Rojas. You can sign that and then go back with the bailiff.